Hello lovely family, welcome to your favorite cooking channel, Cooking with Abba. So today we're going to look at some turnovers, what in Ghana we like to call meat pie and pie. Please, it's not meat pie or pie. And the funny thing is, you go into a Ghanaian place and you order for pie, and then it comes and then you don't even see the meat. Sometimes it's just onion pie or just there's nothing inside, or beans or something. But then it's called turnovers because you're turning the dough over, that sort of stuff. Pies are usually made in the pie dish, like the pumpkin pie I did. Yes, if you checked out the pumpkin pie recipe, you can check it out. But then these are turnovers. That's the right word for it. That's the right terminology for it. So for a pound of flour, I equally had some margarine, which should be like 1/3. And for the season, I had just a bit of the nutmeg. I had a bit of the curry powder and just a little bit of the ginger powder, that thing, just to give it some kick in there. And I had some corned beef. You could equally use fresh beef. You can cut seasoned spice and then put things together on fire before it goes in there. You can do that filling as well, but I feel the corned beef saves you time and energy and effort. Just get a good corned beef like Exeter and you're good to go. And I added in some carrots and some onion, that thing, and a bit of pepper to give it that peppery kick. When you add pepper to your filling, especially with the corned beef and with your meat stuff, it gives you more taste. It gives you more, nice result. So I just mixed all those ones up. You could decide to add some spice to it, maybe some local spice or anything you want to add to it. I'm not a fan of cubes, yes, so but I could add in some spice, and the nutmeg and then the margarine, they all go into the flour recipe. You just want to make sure that if you're taking a part of flour, you should have 1/3 part of margarine. That's the basic idea. And another thing to note is when you are binding, it's cool when you use cold water because the fat is able to assemble well. If not, when you're done, come let it sit for a while or put it in the fridge for a while. Now, the other thing you need to be careful about is that if you add too much water, it's going to come out looking doughy. Yes, unless you don't want your pie to flake. I don't really like too much flaky pie. Yes, so you realize that my mixture was a bit doughy here. Yes, but I need to check the water. If the water is too much, you can get it very short here, pie. The short means flaky. The ones are easy to break and all those ones. Yes. So it depends on you. And you want to mix this beautifully. Now for the baked pies, you can go away if your margarine is a bit more. But when it comes to the fried ones, you lie bad. You can't do that. So my mixture is soft here because there was a bit more of water, which I'm telling you to be mindful of. But then it wasn't excess. Yes, so when I was done, I just rolled it out with my rolling pin. You can just roll it out. If you don't have a rolling pin, get a smooth bottle or smooth something and then use it to roll it out. Yes, so you're just going to roll this up beautifully and you get your molds. Now you have pie molds there, you have cookie molds and all those ones, but me, I'm just using my little nephew's feeding bowl to just cut it out. Yes, so you can do circles or the shapes you'd want and you can just use them together. So when you cut, you can pick the middle parts from them, and then you're going to use some water to just brush the ends. That helps it close properly. Yes, if you do it without it, it's going to be a bit hard for it to close, but it can still close. But then the water is the best way to go around it. Then you put your filling at the center. The filling should go to the center, not to the edges, else it's going to ooze out and it's going to give you a messy something. So you realize the water, when it goes on, because it's a bit cold and all those ones, it's become white there. So these are some of the shapes you could do with your pie. You could just fold it up at the top. So that's going to give you those nice shapes. And this works when you're doing programs and you want to serve them some nice pie. That works beautifully. Or you could just use two. So maybe 2 circles and you close it. Yes, so this is another means you could go by your pie. Yes, and another mean is also to do the regular shapes we have here, the semicircle, where you just fold it to the one side, then use your thumb you always use your thumb to close it. Yes, or you could use a fork to close, but the thumb is always the best. Then you use it to close. So those are some of the shapes you could do. Now to smoothen the sides, you could just use your fork or a palette knife to just smoothen the sides. But this one, because we use a nice mold, we got the sides all perfect. Now I just rolled out the rest of the excess from the first, and I cut the sides and I place it in the center. So this is what you can do to get nice shaped stuff. Yes, so I just cut it into, I was trying to get squares, but then I ended up with rectangles, but we still worked with it. So whether squares or rectangle, you can still do your shapes with it. Any shape you want, just go with the flow and just have some fun, you know, that thing. So I did these are triangles. Yes, so I did some triangles. You just fold it to the other side and be careful to make sure that it closes properly, you know, that thing. So even the triangles, you can still fold it at the top. So that gives you that scaling triangle, whether isosceles triangle. You can have some fun in there. Do this with the kids and let's ask them what shape it is, you know, that thing. So these are some of the shapes you can do with your pie, as we call it here in Ghana. These are our turnovers. So these are beautiful shapes you can do with your turnovers. You can do squares, you can do circles, you can do triangles, you can do, yeah, any shape, circles. Yes, you can even use a nice cookie cutter which can give you style and all those ones. It depends. If you don't have that, just use your knife and go with your shapes in there. So those are simple turnover recipe you could do. And the beauty about turnover is you can use it for breakfast. You could use it as a snack. You know, in Ghana here, buys with yogurt a lot. You know, we eat it with our ice cream and all those ones. So it's one healthy stuff you could do at home. And you can keep this in your fridge for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And you can freeze it. When you freeze it, is the best. When you freeze it and take it out, it will thaw by itself and you can eat, or you can just microwave it. So instead of you buying from outside where there's a lot of adulteration going on, a lot of spices and things going on in there you can't trust, you could just do it by yourself at home. Freeze it. When you're ready, just take it out and warm. So you can just do this like weekends or something for the family. And the kids can take this to school. They can snack on it and it's healthy. So what you need to also do is to use your fork to create holes on top of it. So that helps the meat inside to also cook properly. And then it doesn't let your pie puff up too much, because you end up finished cooking and it's going to be all puffed up. So you just preheat your oven, then your pie goes in there for about 10 to 15 minutes. Yes, it depends on how hot your oven is, and sometimes the temperature also affects it. But then when it's done, it's going to look brown, and then when it's done, you realize that when you break through, every part is going to feel cooked and it's not going to feel raw. So this is a simple turnover snack recipe you could do for the family this year. Try and be more health conscious, eat more healthy, and then have fun. So if you've not yet subscribed, like and share, do subscribe, like and share to this channel and get more people on board. Support the team, support the brand. Lots of love for my team and I. Wow.